What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob, and we're pretty excited this morning. Giants had a huge night last night in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft, where they took wide receiver out of LSU, Malik Nabers, at 6 overall.
This pleases me.
I absolutely love this pick. This is something I kind of called for in the lead up to the draft of what I really wanted this year. Obviously, offensive line was a concern, quarterback still a concern, but really what we needed to do, and we've invested so heavily in the offensive line over the last 5 to 7 years, that we finally need to start getting playmakers back on this team. And now with the absence of losing Saquon Barkley to free agency to the Eagles, there's a monster gap in playmakers on this team, right? To replace Saquon, they got signed Singletary, who's kind of like whatever. They have Gray from last year. It's to be seen like how much of a rotation there will actually be at running back, or maybe they'll continue to add in the second and third day of the draft. But really, at the wide receiver position, there weren't. Let's just break it down what we have currently on the Giants, and then why adding Malik Nabers is game changing. Off the bat, you have Darius Slayton, who's been on the team. Rookie season started with Daniel Jones. He's been, the most fairly consistent performer in that offense, even though he has spouts of injury proneness. And, the Giants just never really had a chance to really throw the ball deep all too often. But when they could, he was able to make explosive plays. But anyway, I think Darius Slayton no more than a wide receiver 3, on pretty much any other team. And I think we could all agree to that at this point. Wan'Dale Robinson, again, short, quick, fast, gadgety type player. They're hitting them in screens, reverses. And he really showed up in the back half of the season, which was great to see that he got his legs back underneath him after coming off of the ACL surgery that really was pretty late in his rookie year. So he did have a full comeback, which is awesome to see. I think the future is very bright for him. And Jalen Hyatt we really didn't see him all too much. Didn't really do anything all last season. Who was the third overall pick for the Giants from Tennessee. Third round pick from Tennessee. And, it was really hard because a lot of his game is getting deep down the field. Obviously, the Giants had one of the worst historically sack-based seasons in the history of the NFL. So they never had time to throw the ball down the field, and he didn't evolve any of the short sides of his game, shorter, the medium range routes. And that's something that comes with time. That's why he was knocked a little bit from the get-go, or that was a knock on him in the pre-draft analysis. And then last but not least is like Isaiah Hodgins, guy signed off the scrap heap, who's like kind of whatever. I actually thought whenever they did get the ball in his hands, especially in the red zone, he made guys miss. He lowered his shoulder, he'd stiff arm people and find a way to get in. And he was pretty consistent in that regard. So the main problem for everything that I listed out there was there is no wide receiver 1. There hasn't been a wide receiver number 1 on the Giants. The main guy, an explosive guy that you could go to, who's going to draw coverage from other players or from other teams and have to be game planned against. It hasn't happened since Odell left. And now with a guy like Malik Nabers, you're slotting into that as a wide receiver 1. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He's going to be able to do everything that we need him to do. And on the flip side of things, it's going to make all of those other receivers for their special, talents that I just mentioned earlier as secondary guys much more valuable in this offense. They aren't going to have to do things that are out of their skill set to do. And Malik Nabers is going to be, I'm so high on him right now. I think Marvin Harrison, everyone can agree, was number 1 wide receiver off the board. He was, but when you look at the pre-draft stuff, there's just something so special about him, especially the genetic background of his father being a Hall of Fame legend. So that was an absolute no-brainer. And then when you got down to between Malik Nabers and Rome Odunze, I think the Giants have had comfortability with guys from the SEC. They've been scouting. They said they saw Malik Nabers play in person more than any other player that they had seen. So they obviously did their homework and due diligence. And the LSU wide receivers the last couple of years, guys, have a phenomenal track record in the NFL. So I think it was an absolute no-brainer. And I'm really happy that they did it. But another reason why I'm very happy they did this is because it sets us up a little bit for the future for what's happening next at the quarterback position. Right now, it's a crowded locker room with Daniel Jones coming back off a torn ACL, Drew Lock being signed, Tommy DeVito somehow still around. And I don't think any of those three options are obviously a long-term option for the Giants. But Malik Nabers, drafting him here at this position, shows that the Giants aren't looking to just do something like where a coach and GM are looking to just save their jobs and take, JJ McCarthy, who JJ McCarthy could be good on the Vikings based on having Jefferson, Addison, I think Hawkinson too. So they have good options for him to step into that role and be successful. The Giants didn't have that, so I'm glad that they didn't reach on a quarterback or trade up and package a ton of picks for Drake May or something who's like, I think you'll probably see will be very underwhelming for the Patriots this year because the Patriots don't have anyone good. They suck as a team. So they're going to have to nail these second and third day picks here for Drake May to have any sort of success next year. But I think the Pats needed a fresh face after in the post-Belichick era. So they needed to get their guy to be like, this is part of our franchise that we're going to build around moving forward. Anyway, I think that's pretty much my rant on it. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys are as happy as I am because for the first time in a long time, I'm pretty optimistic about, where the Giants are moving forward. Do I think everything will get solved in this draft and next year will be, all sunshine and rainbows? No. I think, when you look at the line from Vegas, where they have us from a win and loss perspective, we're like one of the bottom 6 teams. I think we have 5.5 or 6.5 wins, as the over-under. So Vegas is selling really low on us. If we're going to consider that, then, and here's the thing too, guys, people are pissed off. Oh, we didn't get our quarterback. We need to get a quarterback. I 100% agree with you. But to get the 4th best quarterback hear me out on this. Daniel Jones trying to play his hardest, Tommy DeVito trying to play his hardest, or Drew Lock trying to play their hardest, guarantees us a top 5, top 10 pick next year. How does it not? We've seen it. These guys try really hard and still stink. So I think this is a good thing. We got a wide receiver 1. You have to have a good team when you draft a quarterback or bring a quarterback in that makes everyone else better. And we got one step better as a team around that. So let me know what you guys think. If you're happy with it, let me know. If not, hopefully you enjoy, the weekend.